If you'd like me to mix a record for you, there's a link in the description for all of my YouTube viewers to get 25% off my engineer's booking link. If my mix price is still way out of budget for you, shoot me a DM on Instagram or a message on YouTube, and I will do my best to work with your budget that you currently have available to you at this time. Thanks for your support, and I hope you guys learned something in this video. Peace. Hey everybody, so I'm going to be doing Let's Mix a little bit differently from here on out. I'm going to break up each video into roughly 30-minute sections, upload them in parts, and do both a non-commentary and a commentary version of the videos. The commentary version is going to be the exact same as the non-commentary version. I'll just be talking over it and explaining my thought process. I can't mix and commentate at the exact same time. One thing gets neglected. I either don't fully articulate my thoughts the way that I would like to, or the mix doesn't turn out as good as it possibly could. So in order to combat that, you're going to get two versions of each video. All of this in an effort to make sure that you guys get the best possible knowledge and information while also getting my best version of a certain mix. So without further ado, here's the video. Okay, now it's day 2. So I'm going to take a break and I will come back to commentate this part. See you guys in a bit. All right, so as you guys can see, the start of this, I'm calibrating my listening volume. I do that every time I sit down to mix because sometimes on my setup I will, you know, watch a movie, watch YouTube videos. My monitor control doesn't stay at the same volume all the time. So most of the second pass is me really trying to make sure that I adhere to the energy map of the record. So I'm listening from the top because it had been about 12 hours since I'd stopped mixing the last part. Just kind of checking on things that I might have missed, that I might have started subconsciously ignoring because our ears get tired, all that stuff. In this part, I'm pretty sure I was going through and hearing some like S's that were a little too poignant. They don't need to be like ripping your head off, obviously, but they also don't need to be so quiet that they're like lisping. And I believe what I realized was that there's just too much S go like zinging off into the reverb, so pull some of the highs out of the verb. What are we doing here? Oh yes. Listen. Saturating the keys a little bit. Just a little. Nothing too hot, nothing too crazy. I remember thinking right here that the chorus doesn't like stand up enough, and I'm pretty sure the way I end up going about doing this is turning the vocals up only in the chorus. Again, I'm really just like doing a lot of really subtle balance tweaks because level is everything. If something feels like it's getting lost, maybe it's because something else is too loud. After all, you can't just keep turning stuff up because at some point you're going to hit a ceiling. Yeah, this is where I decided to start automating vocals. So my All Vocals Bus collects the vocals themselves plus all of their effects that I do in parallel. So this is bringing all of them up or down by automating just this part. I end up being kind of nitpicky about it. Actually, I take that back. I don't. More so just kind of general about it. Like, I'm pretty sure for the whole song, like, the choruses are gonna be like a dB hotter than the verses, and then the pre-chorus is gonna be like half a dB hotter. So just those very gradual steps up make a big difference. Later on, I go through and automate all the vocal effects to sort of do a similar thing. They are at their maximum amount only in the choruses, and then during the verses and the pre-choruses, I pull them back and push them back in. I guess I could have just copied this automation over, but whatever. If you guys only learned one thing from this whole entire video, I hope it's that mixing is not as complicated as some people may make it seem. It has also taken me like 9 years to get to this point of realizing that it's not as complicated as people make it seem. And a lot of that journey was me making it too complicated for myself and then stripping things back that straight up aren't needed. You can hear right there on that pre-chorus, which says something, it pushes, brings her forward. Tom build. Now we're all the way up on our feet. And that really is just because I automated the vocals up. I'm trying to read my own mind right now. Yeah, I knew that was coming. That last silencio was a little loud. It's great how it like jumps out and stuff, but it's just like, I don't know, I think a little too loud. I remember turning it way too far down though, right here. Yeah, it's too much. So somewhere in the middle. I just turned up that last tom roll a little bit, just a little bit. Remember in the first part of this video I was saying that the second chorus didn't like explode enough because the contrast between that tom roll and the drop of the chorus wasn't like enough of a difference, so I turned him down. But that final tom roll could have been a little bit louder just for like victory lap's sake. Ah, yes, this is the point where I start automating vocal effects. So, the beginning of this song is like really intimate, like I was saying. There's the line she says something about laying in her bed. I wanted to set that scene where it's like just her in her bed, as she says. So she's not like in this big fancy studio with all these effects and stuff going on. Try to keep it as intimate as possible, but we can do that by pulling all the vocal effects back quite a bit, and then as the song goes, introduce more of them and pull them back and whatnot. So in the bridge, I wanted more effects than anywhere, just to kind of have it space out a little bit for that scene change. What are we doing here? Ooh, some delay throws, perhaps? Oh no, not delay throws, just constant delay on the doubles. Just to give them some dimension, you know, a little more than the reverb is providing. Dimension and movement, I guess. Now, if you do the send pan thing that I do for reverbs on delays, especially ping pong delays, then if you start it out on the left, then it'll go right, left, and then vice versa. So that can be a nice way to make it interesting. Oh, just on the oohs. Notice I turned off the sync, the grid sync on the delay. Something about having them a little looser is just a lot nicer. Here I'm throwing lossy after the delay. Kind of makes the delays, modulates them more. Gives them a little bit of a more lo-fi feel. Puts them a little further back, depth-wise. Right here, I'm just listening. Please just leave my head. I'm trying to get some sleep. I'm pretty sure at this point is when I realized there's too much verb in the beginning. Oh, I'm also studying the energy map in front of me. You just keep on playing with my mind. So tell me something, baby, I don't really know. I definitely think the word mind is too quiet right there. Yep. And it's weird how you like lock in with yourself in the past. Maybe I just know my thought process too well. I mean, it's my thought process, so I would hope so, right? So tell me something, baby, I don't really know. I wanna love you, but I've been feeling so low. And tell me something, baby. Low and tell me something. Low and tell me when tell me. Yeah, the word low kind of doesn't feel as emphasized as it should. So it's really good to pay attention to what they're singing about, because then you know what to emphasize and what to not worry as much about. In this case, I'm like emphasizing the words that are sort of in the same rhyme scheme as each other, and also as a, like, from a cadence perspective.
I really know you're getting closer now that I'm gone. And I can get you out of my head, can't go on like this. I just need more of your taste, baby, one more kiss. I can get you out of my head, can't go on like this.
So I don't think that was the part where I realized there's too much verb in the beginning. I'm pretty sure that ends up happening after I start doing most of my mix bus processing. Here I'm just going through, giving the lead vocal the attention that it needs. Yeah, this is too quiet. Bump that up a little bit. I would love to know what mic they used on her and what preamp. Because like I said, good recording is going to save you a lot of time in your mix. Really don't need to do a whole lot. This part is a little tedious, but it is totally worth it for the sake of the art. Like, you could just slap a compressor on this and even level everything out, break it up, but like, then you suck all the magic out of it. Again, I'm sorry for the double capture of my mouse. I know exactly why. Something I did in OBS that was not necessary. We'll have it on the next one. In Pro Tools, if you're wondering how I'm adding these automation points, all you gotta do is hold Command and click, and you'll add a new one. And if you want to get rid of an automation point, you can hold Option and click that same automation point, and it'll delete it. I was talking to my dad. He's off to my left. Went on a business trip while I was recording this. Mixing is not like a very flashy process. We like to romanticize it, being the mixer, you know? And it's cool. That's why I love it. That's why I do what I do. But it's not a super flashy process. Is this the part where I realize there's a fourth high-pitched layer on that guitar? It is. Look at this. Wait, no, it's not. Interesting. Oh, but I am adding a slap delay to just those few guitars, just to give them a little extra vibe and space to stand in front of the main funky rhythm guitar. I believe this is the time where I realized what I was saying earlier on in the video, that when I added this all verb to my template, I didn't realize I put it in the same group as my music effects. So when I went to automate it, I had the group turned on and it ended up automating all my music effects, as you can see, based on their automation lines. So this part, I go through and I fix that. So I'll probably speed this up or cut it out entirely. Maybe I'll just time lapse it. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to cut it out because it's kind of boring. So yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, so finally finished cleaning up all the automation. If you notice, I left the end of the returns at the very end of the song. They mute themselves. That's because the song ends with that little soundbite that's saying that the number you've called has been disconnected or whatever. Yeah, I wanted that to be like a hard stop, if you will. I think I'm realizing, or I'm about to realize, that I totally did not turn the wet solo on for that tape echo, which basically just means that it's 100% wet and it's not giving you both the dry and the wet signal out.
Keep on playing with my mind. So tell me something, baby. I don't really know. I wanna love you, but I've been feeling so low. Baby, I don't really know. You're getting closer now that I'm gone. And I can get you out of my head, can't go on like this. I just need more of your taste, baby. One more kiss. I can get you out of my head, can't go on like this. Me mata tu silencio, me matan tus palabras. How did we get to this? How did we get to this? I'm crying at the distance.
If you're confused at all, the mouse that is the actual mouse is the smaller one. The big one is the double capture, and not the one that's actually doing what I'm doing. But you've probably figured that out by this point. I would hope, at least. This attention to detail of very subtly tweaking volume layers of certain things is really important. Where and the why I put certain things where they are level-wise comes down to like what I want to hear and my taste, but that doesn't necessarily mean there's a right or a wrong way to do it. It's just what feels good to you. The vocal is a very important focal point of the song, so if something starts stepping on that, then I'm going to sacrifice it. Here's where I have the idea to start automating the vocal effects all the way through the song. So in the intro here, much less vocal effects. And the second verse, not as little as the first verse, but less than the choruses. And then if you notice in the pre-choruses, I have that sort of crescendo going on. Subconsciously give the listener a clue that something's coming, you know?
And I can get you out of my head, can't go on like this. I just need more of your taste, baby, one more kiss.
Now I end up doing it with the music and the bass effects as well, but I'm pretty sure I remember later on that the amount that I decreased some of the music and bass effects by was too much. And it kind of made certain things fall apart, so I just kind of eased up the amount of automation. But still, the automation does a thing.
thinking about the last time that we
Like, you hear how much
talked.
drier it is?
Please just leave my head. I'm trying to get some sleep, but all I see is you.
But this part to me is like
and
she's like writing in her journal about it.
trying to get your heart back, but I know if I try, it's just gonna be like the
Looking back
last
on it,
time.
maybe when the piano comes in, we could bump the vocal effects up a little bit more, but it's fine. Like I said, the song's already been released.
With my mind. So tell me something, baby. I don't really know. I wanna love you, but I've been feeling so
You'll notice
low.
that I am going off the numbers of what the faders say kind of religiously in some ways, and in others, I don't really care at all. Always use your ears first, please. You don't need to, the numbers don't fucking matter. Pardon my French, but they really don't. If it feels good, it is good. If it sounds good, it is good.
Tell my friends that I'll go. Tell myself it's fine. And I can get you out of my head. Can't go on like this. I just need more of your taste, baby. One more kiss. I can get you out of my head. Can't go on like this.
I remember this part. I wanted to throw a little delay throw on the lead vocal on the word gone. So that's what we're doing here, what we're setting up and automating. At this point, I'm pretty much like happy with the levels and the balance and the tonalities of everything in the mix. But it's time to add like ear candy and just make it feel good, you know? Push and pull. That's what the effects automation is for, pushing and pulling on the different scenes within the story. Here, I'm trying to accentuate certain words.
Now that I'm gone. Closer, now that I'm gone.
I think I settled on a ping pong delay.
Now that I'm gone.
Yeah, because I want to go on,
Now that I'm gone.
gone. God, I can't sing.
You out of my head, can't go on. Closer, now that I'm gone. Closer, now that I'm gone. And I can get you
Is
out
this
of my
where I
head,
realized?
can't
Put it on
go
ping pong?
like
Yeah, there we go.
closer, now that I'm gone. Closer, now that I'm gone. And I can
Perfect.
get you out of my
Just too much
head,
feedback.
can't go closer,
I only wanted the
now
2
that I'm
echoes.
gone. And I can get you out of my head, can't go
That's so
on
perfect
like
too, because the last delay stops right as that final snare hit.
And I
Yeah.
can get you out of my head, can't go on like this. I just need more of your taste, baby. Closer, now that I'm gone.
Pretty sure, yeah, I put Lossy after it as well. To like
Closer, now that I'm
emphasize the fact that she's gone. You lost her, you know?
closer, now that I'm gone. And I can get you out of my head, can't go on like closer, now that I'm gone. And I can get you out of my head, can't closer, now that I'm gone. And I can get you out of my head, can't go on like this. I just need more of your taste, baby, one more kiss.
I'm gonna say it again. If you're not dancing by the end of your mix, if that's what the song calls for, then you got some work to do.
Me matan tus palabras, how did we get to this? How did we get to this? Closer, now that I'm gone. And I can get you out of my head, can't go on like this. I just need more of your taste. Closer, now
What are we
that
doing
I'm
here?
gone. And I can get you out of my head, can't go on like this. I just need more of your taste, baby, one more
Oh, bass width?
kiss. I can get you out of my
I think I decided against that, and instead of using Magic Switch, yeah, switch back to the chorus. So I'm high passing the chorus on the bass just so that only the mid-range of the bass is affected by the chorus. Kind of want the low end to be nice and centered, but the upper harmonics of it kind of spread those guys out a little bit. I think that bass compression is the heaviest compression I use in the whole song, like -4. Yeah, right here is where I realized that I pulled the bass effects back too much in the second verse. When I add a delay throw to the word alright. Pretty sure I start out with the same delay throw that I use for Gone, but then decide that it's not exactly the vibe that I wanted, so I think I set up another one. Yeah, that's not it. I have a whole bunch of effects like pre-set up and routed in this template so that I can very easily just start throwing stuff around and I don't need to think about like setting up new auxes, picking a plugin, like shit is just ready to go, it's there. I don't use everything in every mix, but it's there so that I can keep working quickly. Also, for some reason in OBS, when I screen record, it gets rid of this close button on my plugin windows and on my fader windows and all that stuff. And it's really annoying. So if you know why, definitely give me a comment. Help me out. Good old Space Rider. I used to not like plugins that were like a whole bunch of stuff in one. But for the right thing, it can be super useful. Like effects. And I mean, I guess my whole mix bus now is like Ozone, which is a whole bunch of stuff in one, but that auto button on Space Rider sort of rides the incoming signal into how much of the effect is happening. Could be a nice way to add more like swells and stuff. I'm pretty sure the way this plugin signal flow works is you hit the chorus first, and then the chorus gets parallel routed to the delay, and the delay can get parallel routed to the reverb, but I'm not 100% sure about that. I think I missed it earlier when I was commentating, but that little bass slide at the beginning, I definitely automated that up volume-wise. Right here, I'm like, oh, the pre-choruses effects should hit hard. They shouldn't, not completely hard. It's still going to crescendo up to the chorus.
So tell me something, baby, I already know.
But so that something is more like in your face or has more impact, not necessarily in your face.
Baby, I already know you're getting closer now that I'm gone. I can get you out of my head, can't go on like this. I just need
Yeah,
one
automating
more
all the
taste,
effects up in the
baby,
bridge.
one more kiss. I can get you out of my head,
Really
can't go
emphasize
on
that
like
scene change, you know?
this. Me mata tu silencio, me matan tus palabras. How did we get to this? Ooh, how did we get to this? Ooh, how did we get to this? Me mata tu silencio.
It's really important to stretch. If you're sitting there too long, you're gonna get tight. We gotta loosen up to really feel the music.
Staring at the ceiling, thinking about the last time that we talked. Please just leave my head. I'm trying to get some sleep, but all I see is you when I close my eyes. I'm trying to get your heart back, but I know if I try, it's just gonna be like the last time. No quiero tenerte.
That's the all reverb that everything except the drums is being sent to.
No quiero tenerte.
That is more of a feel
No
thing than
quiero
anything.
tenerte. Tampoco.
Right here, there's a pop in the piano and I'm trying to figure out where it's coming from. So I'm soloing things. Yep, right there. I don't know why that is there. I don't know what the cause was. I think it's a bad cut. I zoom in really close and I try to RX it out. And usually RX declick is like an actual miracle worker. But for whatever reason, and even on max sensitivity, it just couldn't get this one out. So I'm probably going to skip over this part because it takes a while. But as you can see, that's the click. That big fucking behemoth. But it's still there. Turn up the sensitivity. Nothing. Really unfortunate. Most of the time though, RX like gets rid of it as if it was never there, and it is actual wizardry. I don't know how Isotope does what they do, but they are very, very good at what they do. So I strongly recommend any and all of their tools. Yeah, all right. From here, I'm going to cut this because I spend quite a bit of time trying to get it out, and it just doesn't end up happening. I think I end up doing some fades and stuff like that to minimize it, but it never gets perfect. So see you in a bit. All right, here we are. Post click. At some point in the mix, you kind of just got to know when to let it go. There's only so much you can do before you start making it worse.
Please just leave my laying on my bed. I'm staring at the ceiling, thinking about the last time that we
At this point, I'm just listening. See if there's any major glaring things that I missed.
Get some sleep, but all I see is you when I close my eyes. I'm trying to get your heart back, but I know if I try, it's just gonna be like the last time.
Yes, I go through and I automate these guitar swells quite a bit to emphasize the swell.
Please just leave my head. I'm trying to get some sleep, but all I see is you when I close my eyes. I'm trying to get your heart back, but I know if I try, it's just gonna be like the last time. No quiero tenerte, tampoco back, but I know if I try, it's just gonna be like the last time.
All this automation is really where the mix is. Back in the day, in the analog days, you would oftentimes have the head engineer, the actual mixer, the assistant engineers, the secretary, the drum tech, anybody who worked at the studio was in there pushing faders while you printed the mix. The engineer would use a grease pencil to mark on the console where the faders needed to be in certain sections of the song, and everybody would have both hands on like 10 faders, and you would mix together, you would perform the mix. So if you can implement that, I want to say, mindset into your mixes rather than just setting and forgetting, you're going to breathe a lot more life into your mixes as time goes on. All these really subtle changes are going to introduce so much more life into it than any plugin ever will. And this is where taste comes in. And music intelligence. I say that sarcastically, but only kind of. Remember, there's only a handful of tools that we can really use. I want to say categories of tools. You have volume stuff / dynamics, and EQ falls into volume because it is a frequency volume thing. You have volume itself with the fader and the clip gain. Dynamics is compression, expansion, gating, limiting, but limiting is just really aggressive compression. Really aggressive compression. And then time-based effects. Oh, and harmonic stuff, like saturation. So if you kind of dumb it down to that, it's really not that complicated. There's not a whole lot of stuff going on. All right, now I'm going into Ozone. I will only really add Ozone after I've gotten to the point in the mix where I'm like, I don't really think I can make this any better on the individual stem level. And now it's time to add the icing on the cake. So for Ozone, the way it's recommended you start is you loop out the loudest part of the record, let it listen, let it learn, let it do its thing. Then you get sent to this screen, the target screen. I would recommend clicking through as many of these different targets as you can, because the genre that you're mixing may or may not fit the target that Ozone gives you for that specific genre. Sometimes another one will fit better. I usually start with the genre that I'm actually working on, just to see what it does, and if it's not it, then I go to something else. What I'm looking for is a preset or a starting point that feels like my mix, but just bigger and fuller. I think this song was listed as like dreamy indie pop, but the indie pop didn't exactly do what I wanted it to. Felt like a little bit too much in some ways, so pretty sure I just settle on straight up pop. This is pop country. It sounds pretty good, but it's too bright. Yeah, pop is good. I always A/B the dynamic EQ first because it just kills all the life every time, man, and I've never left it. I just don't like it. So ozone makes it much louder, which is why I checked my sound meter, my level meter just now while I was going through targets. So I turned my monitors down so that I can make these decisions at the same level that I was already mixing at. Impact is the best thing ever. Multiband upwards and downwards compression synced to the grid. Attack and releases synced to the grid. I'm trying to pick the most danceable groove. The imagery is usually pretty good just off rips, so I don't tend to mess with it a whole lot. Clarity is like a reactive EQ, but only above 300 Hertz. That's where it defaults to. Notice I'm closing my eyes for these parts. The maximizer, this is the loudness portion. I flip through these algorithms to see whatever feels best. There's no rhyme or reason, it's just trying stuff out. And then finish it off with a limiter. I try not to do any like crazy limiting. I don't want to kill all the dynamics that I work so hard to create. Now it's time to listen post ozone.
Please just leave my head. I'm trying to get some sleep, but all I see is you when I close my eyes. I'm trying to get your heart back, but I know if I try, it's just gonna be like the last time. No quiero tenerte, tampoco perderte. You just keep on playing with my mind. So tell me something, baby, I don't really know.
I realized after I put in the ozone that I high-passed the lead vocal a little too much, got rid of too much body. So that's what I just adjusted there.
And I can get you out of my head, can't go on like this.
Yeah, I was hyped. I was like, dude, this sounds sick. I was really proud of that. Here I realized I could probably pan automate the bells, give them some movement.
Baby, I don't really know, I wanna love you, but I've been feeling so low. And tell me something, baby, I don't really know. You're getting closer now that I'm gone, and I can get you out of my head.
So when you pan something really hard left or right, it's gonna appear louder because now it's by itself in that region.
Thinking about the last time that we talked. Please just leave my head. I'm trying to get some sleep, but all I see is you when I close my eyes. I'm trying to get your heart back, but I know if I try, it's just gonna be like the last time. No quiero tenerte, tampoco perderte. You just keep on playing with my mind. So tell me something, baby, I don't really know. I wanna love you, but I've been feeling so low, and tell me something, baby. I don't really know. You're getting closer now that I'm gone, and I can get you out of my head. Can't go on like this. I just need more of your taste, baby. One more kiss. I can get you out of my head. Can't go on like this. Me mata tu silencio. Can't go on like.
And from here, I'm just gonna very subtly tweak some things. Again, it's still balanced stuff. Really just volume levels, no like compression tweaks, nothing like that, just volume.
It's fine, I'm alright. Then I'll start to walk home. I just reach for my phone, check up on your night, but we don't talk anymore. So tell me something, baby. I already know I wanna love you, but I've been feeling so low. And tell me something, baby. I already know you're getting closer now that I'm gone.
Ready for me to miss this Tom Phil?
I can get you out of my head.
Oh wait, no, that was like almost kind of right there.
I just need more of your taste, baby. One more kiss. I can get you out of my head. Can't go on like this. Me mata tu silencio. Me matan tus palabras. How did we get to this? Ooh, ooh. How did we get to this? Me matan tus palabras. How did we get to this? Me mata tu silencio.
When you're producing your tracks, do all this panning stuff then. I got these as a multi-track file, as like a folder, so there was like no panning assignments or anything like that. I did it all myself, just where I thought it would feel good. What would lead to the most balanced mix. But give everything a place in the stereo field as you're writing, and then the mix will just mix itself. Now, listening back to this now, I'm like, maybe I could have been a little more surgical with how I treated the vocal, but while that's fine, I might have stepped on the art more than I should have. I'm thinking, oh, maybe I could have like multi-band compressed like 500 hertz a little bit more in the vocal to give it more clarity or whatever. But yeah, that's it. So I'm printing the mix. I'm gonna leave you guys to listen to this final mix. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. I think this is how I'm gonna do all of my Let's Mix videos from now on. I'm gonna break these up into more like digestible portions, like 30-minute videos, and do both a commentary and non-commentary version.
Laying on my bed, I'm staring at the ceiling, thinking about the last time that we talked. Please just leave my head, I'm trying to get some sleep, but all I see is you when I close my eyes. I'm trying to get your heart back, but I know if I try, it's just gonna be like the last time. No quiero tenerte, tampoco perderte. You just keep on playing with my mind. So tell me something, baby. I don't really know. I wanna love you, but I've been feeling so low. And tell me something, baby. I don't really know. You're getting closer now that I'm gone, and I can get you out of my head. Can't go on like this. I just need more of your taste, baby. One more kiss. I can get you out of my head. Can't go on like this. Me mata tu silencio. Me matan tus palabras. How did we get to this? Ooh, ooh. So tell me something, baby, I already know I wanna love you, but I've been feeling so low. And tell me something, baby, I already know you're getting closer now that I'm gone. I can get you out of my head, can't go on like this. I just need more of your taste, baby, one more kiss. I can get you out of my head, can't go on like this. Me mata tu silencio, me matan tus palabras. How did we get to this? How did we get to this? How did we get to this? Me mata tu silencio.
The number you have dialed
Silencio. How did we get to this? How did we get to this?
The number you have dialed has been changed.